All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Core Live. I'm Tasha, aka Tobbs. I am part of the creator relations team here at Manticore, and I'm joined today by our wonderful co-founder Jordan, aka Basilisk, and our very special guest star today is Brackeys! I'm so excited to have Brackeys join us, at least virtually. If you guys basically have looked up any documentation on Unity, if you've been a game dev, hobbyist, amateur, professional in the past few years, I'm sure you know who he is. I don't really need to introduce him, but I am. Welcome, Brackeys.
Thank you so
Of
much. Thank you so
course.
much for having me on, guys. I'm really excited to be here and talk about game development.
Awesome. Yeah, so I just thought we'd jump in and Brackeys, we're just going to ask you a bit about your background, how you got started, and of course, chat if you have any questions. I'll be looking at that as well. And then we'll play a few games from the community, and Brackeys will give his expert feedback on them. Okay, sound good, everyone? Yes. All right, so Brackeys.
Yay!
Yeah, there. Thank you, thank you. Um, let's just dive right into it. How did you get started making games?
Well, uh, it's a good question because I kind of gradually got into game development in many stages, and I tried it out many times. Game development is often something, at least if you start young, that is hard to get into, and because of that, not something that you just go do and then do for the
Right.
rest of your life. I tried many times to learn how to program and failed many times. I tried with Visual Basic. I tried with Python programming in Blender. I tried out many different things, and it wasn't really until I picked up Unity that things kind of started to click. Unity was still really young at this point. It's probably been in 2009 or something like that. Um, but uh, but I saw suddenly that game development was something that I maybe could do, and that programming was something that I could learn, and it was perfect for me because it combined so many of my interests. I think one of the really fun parts about game development is that you get to do so many different things. You get to do audio, you get to do programming and logistical thinking, you get to do visual and arts, and craft a story. So there are a lot of different. It's very a multimedia type of media, and I like that part of it.
Oh, awesome.
And so yeah, that was
That's
really
so
We were just
funny.
talking about we were just talking about before the stream that not only do you have to do all those different things, the graphics, the sound, the audio, the programming, you usually have to do it in 16 milliseconds. If you want to run at 60 frames a second, you've got to do it in 16 milliseconds. So you have
yeah,
to sort of figure out how to optimize everything
right.
and do it all in real time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a lot of years ago now, but that's kind of how I gradually got started.
Oh, that's awesome. Love that you like that it involves all those things. When I was thinking about getting into game design, I was like, where do I even begin to learn all of that stuff? Because I kind of, I'm an artist, but I was like programming, sound effects, I mean, level design. How did you approach learning all of that?
Ah, yeah, you have to take it one step at a time,
Yeah.
really. I mean, I talk a lot about, of course, our entire channel is kind of based around trying to figure out the best way to have people learn this stuff. I mean, we've been doing Unity tutorials for so long now, and so every time we make a new beginner's course or whatever, we try and look back and see what's the easiest way to learn this stuff, what's the easiest way to teach this stuff. And I think the best way, kind of, that has been true for all courses and has been true for me whenever I've had to learn something difficult, even if it's just learning new tools now, because there's always more to learn, is to focus on the part that you think is fun about it, focus on what you want to do with it, and work in kind of a project-based structure, and
Hmm.
then have everything that you learn be kind of a result of that. It's not, if I sit down and say, well, now I can because now it's my job and I'm fairly motivated to do this. But if
Hmm.
I sit down and say I'm going to learn C++, there's
Mhm.
a good chance that I might be excited about it for a day or two, but then it's going to start falling off.
Yeah.
Whereas if I say I want to try and build my own engine just for fun. Then using C++ to accomplish that is going to teach me so much more, and it's going to, first of all, allow me to establish goals other than just learn something, but actually see the results of what I make and kind of get little dopamine fixes along the way whenever you
Yes.
complete something and can actually share it. So that's kind of my approach, is try and look at something that you want to make and then have the tools that you learn be, well, the tools that you learn because you need to accomplish that goal.
Oh, that's such a good approach. And
I
I
think that
totally.
project-based. Oops, sorry, Tobbs.
Oh, I was just gonna say I agree with the dopamine thing. Like when I made my first script and it actually worked the way I wanted to, I was like, I am a god. Even though it was like turning on a light switch in core.
And I think that, game jams obviously are a really great way to do a project-based sort of time-boxed short things, projects like that. I was mentioning, our first company, we started off making games in Flash, and at some point we switched our entire company to Unity. And to do that, I felt the best way to do that was we actually held a 3-day internal game jam. And the first day was just all tutorials of me teaching people how to use Unity. We basically remade Peggle in Unity in sort of a couple hours. And then we had everybody make their own games in Unity. Everybody in the company, all the way to from the marketing person, made their own games in Unity. I think that was a really great way to do it. So project-based, I absolutely agree with.
Yeah.
And speaking of kind of starting out, what are some common mistakes you see a lot of like early or newbie game devs making that should be avoided?
All the same mistakes that I made, the same mistakes that everyone make, like starting too big with an idea that is not possible. Well, tools like Core makes ideas that are too big more realistic, of course, because they're a lot easier to pick up and a lot more of the backend is handled for you. But often I see just people starting with something really cool that they're used to playing, that they're used to kind of experiencing as a gamer, and then thinking, I have a cool twist on this. I have the new idea for how to make Counter-Strike interesting again, or how to make World of Warcraft better. And then they start trying to do that from scratch. And while the idea might be there, realistically, creating an MMORPG requires 300 people, or at least historically has required 300 people working on it for years. And so, of course, start small. Figure out a tiny thing that you think would be cool to make, and then divide it in half, do it one more time, and then try your luck at it. And I'm not to sit here and say that I haven't made these mistakes, because I really, really have. And I also know that it isn't the end of the world, because you'll just end up with a project that doesn't get finished, and that's okay. But for for your own sake, try and limit the scope of what you're trying to do, because finishing something is a huge experience, and it's really something that you owe yourself to try and do. So start really small. You can always create another project. So that's probably the main thing. And
That's a
then also
mistake that
thinking that I will never learn programming is like the thing. This is hard, and therefore I will never learn it. I tried many times, and I failed many times, and I thought my brain wasn't made for programming. And programming really, it wasn't really something that I wanted to do. It's just something that I had to do in order to make games. But now I love programming. And it's just like an extension of my body. It's like I have 2 arms and a programming. And it's
that issue is, and that mistake is a mistake that even seasoned professional AAA game developers make. I worked, of course, on Spore for 3.5 years and talk about scoping. That was the hard project to scope.
the game that did it all.
Yes, and before it was called Spore, literally the code name internally was Sim Everything. And when when your code name is Sim Everything, it's very hard to scope it down.
Yeah, I could imagine. Jesus.
And,
Well, I enjoyed the result. I will say that, and it was really impressive in scope, even what you managed to do.
Thank you.
if you're joining us from Brackeys fan base, we are Manticore Games. We have put out a game creation platform called Core, and it's free to create, share, and play games. You can download it now for free at coregames.com, and we're going to transition into the game playing part of this. So if you already have an account, you can jump into game with us, and I'll be dropping the links into the Twitch chat. And if you don't have an account with us, hurry up and make one, and maybe you'll get in on our server. All right, guys, so I think our first game up is going to be Granny's Got Back Home by Daddy-O. This is a really cute, wholesome game, super saturated and sunny, and this is a Frogger-inspired one. And then I'm going to switch to my, here we go, and I'm just going to look up Daddy-O.
Yeah, I'm opening this.
Right.
Daddy-O is in the Twitch chat, so shout out to him for making this game. You can see here as soon as you can see on Tobbs' screen that he's got a tutorial here to tell you the rules, what you have to do. It's multiplayer, of course, and we got some people in here. I'm in here with Tobbs.
Oh, this is so cool. Oh, my username is Andreas Brackeys. Andreas went ahead and set this up. Okay. That's not me.
So let's see. And I think the really wonderful thing here is Daddy-O had no programming experience, and he did have some kind of sandbox creation experience, but by and large, I've just been immensely impressed with all of his projects, and I think this is a really great culmination of everything he's learned so far. So, oh, I see I have to pick up my Granny. Yoink, pick up Granny.
That's so cool.
And while he does have no previous programming experience, he does have an incredibly high tolerance for trial and error. And I think that's a large part of programming, especially when you're first beginning, is don't be afraid to try it and keep trying it until you get it to work. Because that dopamine hit when you finally get that thing to work is pretty great.
It is. I mean, most of the time is figuring out why something doesn't work.
Yep.
And so you have to like that part of the process.
Yep.
Oh, you can really
This is really impressive.
Here.
It works really well.
I like her jammies.
And he added Tobbs, I don't know if you saw, but since the last time I played, he added a dodge roll, a sprint. So you do get one chance
I just dodged
with your shift key to dodge. Yeah, well.
Look
Use it
before you dodge
sparingly.
roll.
And we have the creator himself, Daddy-O, I think is in the game now.
Yay.
I see him on the leaderboard there. One thing I want to point out about this game also is one of the reasons that Daddy-O was able to do some of this stuff with no prior programming experiences in Core, that thing like that on-screen leaderboard is a built-in component that you can literally just drag and drop into your scene. And, oh, I just got killed. And it's there. You tell it what resource number you want it to track, and it will automatically sort the players. It draws the players' names. So he didn't have to program any of that. There's a lot of things that you get, the round structure, you can just, are components that we've included that you can sort of just drag and drop right into your game.
I hear everything you're saying, but at the same time, it's hard to focus when you're skeleton.
I know. I know. I have newfound respect for professional gamers.
Over the street repeatedly. While doing it like an action dodge to evade dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I mean, the elevator for pitch for this game is like it reaches new heights. Oh my God, there was a rocket.
By the way, a lot of the vehicles and things that are going across the street are things that Daddy-O found in community content. So another feature of Core is that we have community content. It's sort of like, kind of like a Unity asset store, but everything that is made by the community and free and shared. And it's not just models, but it's also code. If people write a little functional piece of code, like a gun or something that shoots, or a teleporter that works, they can put it in community content, and you can just download it into your game, and it will work. one of our creators, Wave Paradigm, is a fan of the game Portal, and he wrote a functional portal gun in Core that does the full mechanic that you would expect a portal gun to do. Imagine if you put that into this game. Literally, you just drag and drop, and now you're playing Granny's Got Back Home with portals. Might make it easier.
I feel like I
There's
need
the
that.
sequel
I've
for
killed
you.
a lot of grannies.
Yeah, this is hard.
Surprisingly
How are you guys so good
hard.
at this?
Oh, I'm not. Definitely
Oh, boy.
not good. But wow. Oh, Pichu, 42,000 points?
That's
What
insane.
are your secrets? All right, so Brackeys, anything about this game in particular that you think Daddio did well?
I think there are really many things that are done well here. The first thing is that I feel like the score counting is really rewarding. Like there's definitely a sense of progression, and having the leaderboard constantly there makes it really competitive. One thing that I would consider adding is some kind of catch-up mechanic, because it gets pretty clear pretty quickly who is good at the game or who's kind of ahead, and if you're not ahead, getting ahead is really hard because it's completely linear. So maybe having the score, the amount of points that you gain, increase over time, or having some ability for people who aren't doing well to gain points quickly, but maybe at a risk, would be something to consider adding. But I think
Yes.
overall it works extremely well, and it's considering the amount of crazy things that in here, it's actually really simplistic and fun. The dodge mechanic or the evade shift thing works a lot because it adds another dimension in terms of when to use it and when not to.
Oh, Ephraim has a suggestion in chat. Ultra grannies that make you go super slow. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
See that
Are
would
worth
be-
more points, maybe. Yeah. So there'd be a little bit of risk reward there. If they were worth more points, but they made you slower, then you can sort of choose if you're behind to try to get the ultra points.
And congrats to
GG, well
Pichu,
played.
yeah, for winning that round. All right, we'll play one more, I think, and then we'll move on to our next game, which is spoiler alert. It's
All
going
right.
to be Wave Paradigm's Pizza Time.
All right, this is for real. The last one was a
Yeah, that was
warm-up round.
warm-up.
I'm concentrating
That was
now.
warm up too.
What are you talking about? I already messed up. This is my warm-up.
Practice round, practice round. All right, I love the zaniness of all of the vehicles.
Yeah.
The
The
rocket
UFO,
ships.
the little Flintstones car.
The
kidding
UFO is
me?
great.
All right. And then, oh, there's a lady being chased by zombies. I just realized that. And,
No.
Ooh.
You know, one thing that would be really fun, since this is multiplayer, would be a way to mess up other players.
Oh. You could body check them with
Maybe-
your own granny.
Yeah.
Throw your grandma.
One player is the grandma shooting other people. It's co-op.
Or a team-based mode where you can relay your grandmas.
Oh, granny relay.
And throw your grandma to your teammate. Yeah, relay team mode would be interesting too.
Not a bad idea.
I love
Oops.
that.
Keep dying.
All right.
I'm
Oh, no.
sorry to all the grandmothers. I'm not doing well.
Yeah, this is
We might have to stop and move on just for
All right.
time purposes. So I'm gonna jump on
Sure.
and we'll say, oh, I'm gonna say Pichu won this one again. He was in the lead. Okay, and next up is going to be Wave Paradigm's Pizza Time. Yes, here we
Yeah.
go. I love this game. I'm a huge fan of Overcooked, and I think this game was maybe inspired by Overcooked a little. And then I just want to point out that the logo for this game is also the core logo, but as a pizza.
Wow. I see it. It's great.
Yeah, pretty good.
Oh my god.
And
Oh, are you in the introduction as well? Can you guys... Oh, this is amazing.
Yep.
we did a full tutorial introduction.
I love these guys. So this is fun because I also did an Overcooked inspired game called Farm Alarm for a recent game jam. So I'm excited to see kind of what take has been, what kind of approach this game has to doing that. Wait a second, I have to read this.
Oh yeah, it's. Oh, Brackeys, hurry up! You're on my team.
What? Yeah,
It's-
okay, I'm
it's
in.
Quite,
Oh, jeez.
quite complicated. Okay, so I think the general strategy here is everyone focuses on one task in particular. So let's see. Ooh, and then Jordan is
Okay.
on the other team.
I am.
I will put tomato sauce on things.
Okay, nice. I will cook
All right,
things
well, this
and
round is
roll
almost
out.
over. This is the practice. Just learn
Practice,
the
warm up.
controls, and then we'll start for real. And I think the teams will shuffle actually at the next round,
They
so we'll
do,
see what the
yeah.
teams end up
It's
being.
a
Yeah.
nice feature, so you don't get when
All right.
stuck on the same team. But if you're against a team of power players who are really good, you won't get stuck losing to them again and again.
All right. I like his little transitions there. His little wipe transition.
Yeah,
All right, Tobbs, you and I are on one team.
Nice. Okay.
Team Manticore over here.
Let's see. I can cook
All right,
things and
Team
roll them out.
Brackeys over here. Assemble.
See.
Roll out.
Can I mess with you guys? No, I cannot. Okay.
Let's get some things
Team
going.
Brackeys has more people and
Uh,
they have Smithy.
I feel like I should try and organize this.
Right, and a white
Guys,
pizza,
we
by the
need a
way,
white pepperoni pizza.
that means no sauce.
I am not helping. I will slash pepperoni sticks. Someone is already doing that.
Oh, someone already made breadsticks as well on this team.
Oh my god, I'm horrible at this. I will slice cheese.
There you go. Okay, no one needs
Shred-
breadsticks. We have
shred
two
cheese. That's-
cooked breadsticks over here. All right, white pizza.
I don't think the food gets cold. It will burn if you leave it in the oven too long, of course. All right, I got white pepperoni pizza delivering.
White pepperoni.
Lots of
So
white
that's
pizza
without
orders.
sauce. I get
A
it.
lot of white pizzas here. All right, let's get some more. I need some sliced cheese, people.
Okay, it looks like Waffle is on the cheese slicing.
All right, I got some more cheese there. I will take this pizza and cook
Okay, I
it.
have a pepperoni pizza, guys.
Oh man, they pulled ahead. Oh, it's tied. Look at this, 31 to 31.
Ah!
That's you guys. That's not me.
I'm gonna go.
Everyone playing for
I'm gonna go
carrying me through this experience.
I'm gonna go touch tables, as they say in the restaurant business. Make sure that the Raptors here
Are satisfied.
are having a good time. Yeah,
Oh my god. Okay.
I think something just burned.
I think I saved it at the last second. Or I want to
Need
say
more
I did.
pepperonis.
Okay, and then I'm
Oh, that's
finally-
Team Brackeys is pulling ahead.
No. Oh,
Great
man.
job,
All right.
guys. I knew we could do this.
Okay,
Oh
breadsticks.
no, I've got a pepperoni pizza and nobody wants it.
No! Oh, Ephraim stole my table. Okay.
Oh, it's close. 82 to 75.
Oh, can
This
we-
is the Pizza World Finals.
Pizza.
The International. The Pizza International.
Breadsticks. How do you make breadsticks?
Oh, you.
You slice the dough.
Ah,
Yep.
of course.
Okay.
Oh, you get to move faster during the last.
Way,
Really
that's
like that
cool.
mechanic.
I'm going to deliver.
Come on,
some.
breadsticks. 1
Yes.
second. Oh no. Oh my god,
Oh,
a
it's
tie.
I've never seen
What?
that happen before.
Perfect.
Wow.
That's a
Cool.
good game.
That is a good game. Talk about balanced.
Yep.
Okay,
This is
Brackeys.
really cool.
Yeah. Thoughts? What did you think they did well?
I mean, this is like, well, it reminds me completely of Overcooked. It has all the elements. Like, there are different types of jobs. You can definitely, if you're more organized than my thoughts right now, you can split this up into individual tasks and have people, like, it's a team experience, which is also why I get anxious even looking at it, because Jesus, collaboration in these games is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh, I beat you.
one-
Sorry, not
one
you.
thing that I might consider is having interactable objects kind of glow, or at least outlining them once you're near them. Because
Yes.
right now you definitely have the text pop up letting you know what you can do, but just showing that extra layer of interaction would be a good idea, I think, just to make sure that you're always doing the thing that you want to be doing.
Right.
And maybe also having the recipes be on the screen without the scoreboard. That would be a thing, because I had to constantly look at the recipes, and then I had the scoreboard open, and so I had to switch back and so that might be a little tip. But I mean, it's a good game. It's a fun type of game. It works perfectly.
Yeah. I really like that he did the whole sort of intro tutorial at the beginning that walks you
That
through.
was amazing.
And this is, and I don't know if Wave is in our Twitch chat right now, but
He
this
is.
is, I think he basically made this by himself, right?
Yes.
That's really
And
cool.
and how long did it take? Do we know, or can he answer?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, he says, he's taking
Oops.
notes. He says the recipes are supposed to be on by default, and he'll make hiding showing them a different key.
Yep. And then Wave, for the highlight, we have the outline object, which you can throw around any template or folder. So if you just put a highlight around your grinders and all your interactable objects, that would probably make it very much clear what you can interact with and what you can't.
That would be
And I
really
am
good.
not doing any cooking, but I'm being carried by my team here. Oh, we have Waffle on our team. That's probably
He's
why.
good. Oh,
Yeah,
and then,
Waffle is.
let's see, white pizza, cheese pizza. Oh, okay. Wave Paradigm says, it was around 35 to 40 hours of dev work. Wow, okay. Ooh, we won.
That's
Nice.
so-
That was all three of us. Okay, and then if we have 3 minutes left, and I think we can squeeze in our next game, which is
Silly Gun Game?
Silly Gun Game. So
All right.
I really like these three games in particular, just because Daddio is more of a novice, and yet he's able to create amazing things. And then we see Wave Paradigm, who I guess is a hobbyist, although I feel like his second job is essentially creating games. And we have Silly Gun Game coming up next, and this is actually created by one of our employees who is a character artist, but is also multi-talented and programs as well.
Yep. And then this is based, of course, on the gun game mods. And the idea here is that this is a self-balancing mechanic. As you get better and better, as you increase in score, your gun gets worse and worse. So if you are terrible at shooter, you will always have the best gun. And as you get better, the guns get worse and worse. I think one of the top guns at the end is a 20-sided die that you actually throw at people, and whatever number it hits them with is how much damage you do.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean,
And
I'm
if
a
you
big
hit-
fan of the classic gun game. I've played a lot of Counter
Yes.
Strikes. This is
Oh,
right up my
awesome.
end.
Oh,
How-
awesome,
How
great.
do you pick up a gun? Like, I have no weapon.
I think the round is going to start. Did the round already start? You get the guns automatically. And so everyone should start off with a shotgun. You don't have a gun yet. Maybe it will give it to you after a few seconds.
Maybe someone
Um,
needs to kill you first.
Maybe we
Where
could
are
try
you?
that.
Well,
I'll help.
oops, I managed to do that myself. I flew off the map. There you go. I eliminated myself.
Oh, and that
All
worked.
right.
Excellent. Okay, and then you
Yeah.
should also have.
I have a weapon.
Some of us have hats as well that give special abilities. Let's see. Oh, Brackeys, but I don't think you have a hat that I can see.
Hats might be persistent, so because he hasn't played this before,
Oh, interesting.
maybe he doesn't have a hat yet. I'm not positive.
Gavin,
Okay,
you're
so,
with the
but
double
there is a
kill.
store. Ooh, I'm shopping.
And the hats are as silly as the guns. I just got killed by somebody with a camera hat.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is fun. I'm a simple man. I can shoot things I like.
So, Brackeys, are you, in terms of genres, do you normally find yourself playing, puzzle games, shooters, action adventure?
So I would consider myself a social gamer. So I play mostly multiplayer things, and if it's multiplayer, I don't really care too much. I've played a lot of Counter-Strike. I also played a lot of World of Warcraft, and yeah, I've played many different things, but definitely as of late, it's been Counter-Strike. But really, whatever like friends want to play. I don't care.
Something that a couple people have been working on, I know, in the community and internally, is diffuse modes that is easy to drag and drop on any map you want. So you have bomb defusal. We have a spike defusal. So it's pretty cool. We've been playing that one a lot. And somebody made a recreation, of course, of Dust 2, one of the first ones to be recreated in Core.
That's
So
awesome.
we played that last night in Core. It was pretty fun.
All right. Any thoughts on gun game?
It's hard. You
Yeah.
It
guys
is.
are
It is definitely
it's
hard.
Ooh, I have an ability now.
Nice.
I can
Oh yeah.
charge. It's so cool. Yes. See, this is nice. So thoughts? Well, it works really nicely. I mean, the map is huge, but right now we are playing a lot of people, so it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if there's any way to like swap out the size of the map depending on how many people are in the game.
Oh.
That would be what I'm doing.
I do
Also,
like that suggestion.
being set back every time you die is kind of brutal. Maybe you could be set back like every other time or something like that. Ooh, and I constantly.
There's a mode as the game progresses, you don't get set back.
Okay. Well, in that case, we're just playing the
He's got a quad
better
kill.
version. But it's alright right now because. Oh my god, I cannot commentate. I cannot play games while talking. I cannot multitask at all. So
This is very hard. It's very
it's
difficult.
very, very hard.
Oh, and then question from chat. This is from Gabinier, aka Elisa. What did you play in WoW? What class? Not game dev related. Just curious.
I've played them all. I've played for many, many years. I've played since the beginning. So recently, when I picked it up, it was because Classic came out, and I wanted to relive that experience. And I was actually surprised with how little of it had to do with my nostalgia and how much of it had to do with me actually thinking that it was a more fun experience than the current WoW. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of World of Warcraft. Just from a technical standpoint, it's insane that they were able to do that much at that time.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think we've ever really seen anything like it.
No, we're big fans here too. Of course, I played my class. If you're curious, Tobbs, I played. Not only did I play Paladin, I exclusively played Prop Paladin, and I exclusively played 2 Prop Paladins. I don't know why I had 2 Prop Paladins at max level. That just seems like torture, but I did. I had 2 Prop Paladins at max level.
Wow.
And my wife, of course, so I was Prop Pally, I was, of course, Tank. My wife was Healer, which is basically instant dungeon queues forever.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Which was very nice.
Yeah.
Couples who play together, stay together.
So far.
Yeah, or you like
nice.
rage quit and yell at each other. Not
We
speaking from
literally
experience.
Literally the biggest fight that we have ever had was in World of Warcraft in 2 versus 2 arenas.
Well, in that case, I don't think you have very many problems between you.
That's right.
You know,
So
come
I
to
guess
think
that's
of
a good
it,
sign.
I think one of my big fights was actually about Minecraft a
Yeah?
while ago. Yeah, it was. I was hoarding diamonds, but I earned the diamonds, so felt I was entitled to hoard them. All right. Well, I think.
All right, let's see here. What gun do I even have? I've got the 6-shooter, which that's why I'm out of ammo. Okay.
We're
Actually, it's funny
coming-
that we're talking about that because my wife and I have another couple that we often hang out with, and we tried sitting down and playing Overcooked together, and they told us that game, nothing could make them angry or anything like that. Oh, looks like I got stuck in a wall. someone come kill me? I'm
Oh
here.
yeah, I know there is a spawn point that is in a wall. If Feature Creeper, who is the creator of this game, is watching, he can fix that and republish it in a matter of seconds.
Nice
I,
transition.
I, will- I will try to
Smooth.
come kill you. Yeah.
Yeah, but they referred to Overwatch. No, not Overwatch. To Overcooked as the breakup game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can imagine it. I could see that happening
Cool.
easily. Oh,
All right, I'm gonna jump out real quick because I have
okay.
carrots to tend to.
Okay. Farmer's market. All right. And then I'll
Yep.
wrap up because we're a little over time. Brackeys, thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun. It was really wonderful to hear your thoughts on Core and, of course, these games made by our creators. Jordan and Brackeys, any closing thoughts from either of you?
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, of course.
That'd be awesome. Or it was awesome to be here and to try out some of these games. Great work, guys. That's really cool that some of you are even doing this without programming experience. And closing thoughts would just be do more. I mean, game development is fun.
Awesome. Oh, I love
Remember
that.
to have fun.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Brackeys, and Jordan, of course, yours as well. And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye.